I have two coaching clients this week who are working to learn a new skill. One of them, they're both senior executives and leaders, and one of them is really good at the technical aspect of his job, and he is trying to learn how to be better at reading the emotional field, at being able to name, gosh, I'm sensing that there's some frustration, and instead of just ignoring it and stepping over it and hoping it gets better. The other coaching client is trying to learn how to take a coaching approach to managing. He loves to jump in and fix problems and solve and give the answer. And he knows that in order to get to the next level, both for himself as a leader as well as to bring his team to the next level, he has to stop doing that because it's creating this dependence on him and this cycle where they're constantly coming to him for what to do next. And so he's trying to ask questions and coach his team members. And in both cases, both of these men are saying, this is so awkward. And so that's what we're going to share and talk about today is how learning a new skill, yeah, it can be awkward. It can be incredibly hard. And yet, so valuable to get to the next level. So my daughter Jadyn is 15, and in Wisconsin, you can now get your driver's permit at 15 instead of 15 and a half. That was a new law that came into effect in COVID. And she's learning how to drive and how to parallel park. And oh my gosh, there are times that it's just so awkward. She's like, Mom, this is so hard. Why do I have to, look over my shoulder, turn on the blinker, then, go halfway till the back mirror is halfway to the side? I don't even know what it all is. I'm like, yeah, it's really hard. And yet essential to get to that next level of adulthood. And so I want to give you today just 3 tips on what you can do if you're in a stage where you are learning a new skill and you're finding that it is awkward or that it's hard. So the first step, well, first of all, awkwardness is natural. In order to get to a new skill, you go from unconscious incompetence, you don't know what you don't know, to conscious incompetence. Like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to read the emotional field and articulate what I'm noticing? Huh. The next stage you go to is conscious competence. Oh my gosh, Darcy, I did it. I named it. I said, it feels like there's some tension on the team right now. I did it. But you have to work really hard to do it. And then the last stage is unconscious competence. You're just driving, talking on the phone, changing the radio station, and parallel parking. So that awkwardness is natural when you are learning a new skill. So here's the first step I want to share with you is to break it down. With the first coaching client that I was talking about, he's really wanting to be able to connect more with his boss, but he's finding that sometimes it's really tense in the conversation. And so what he'd like to be able to do is to name that tension and to get curious about it. But he said, this is really hard. So we broke it down, and the first step he's going to do is practice that with his kids in a simple way, to break it down and say, okay, I'm just going to do it there when they come home and say, Dad, my teacher yelled at me today. And instead of getting frustrated or telling what to do, saying, gosh, I can tell you're really sad. You're really frustrated. You're really angry. Second tip that I want to give you is to lower your expectations. You're learning a new skill. It's hard, so that's okay. When you are breaking it down and lowering your expectations, for my daughter, I'm not saying go out and park the car. at downtown Madison. We're doing it in the parking lot of the church with orange cones. We're lowering the bar and breaking down the steps one at a time. And then the third tip is just to remember that learning is a journey. Those 4 learning steps from unconscious incompetence to unconscious competence, you can't skip a step. You need to go through them. And so be gentle with yourself and just embrace the fact that there's going to be fabulous failures and small wins along that journey. And as we close out of our Thoughtfully Fit Thursday today, I want to just encourage you to embrace the awkwardness. It's okay. And if you need to, get a support system. Find somebody who will cheerlead and champion you and support you as you are learning a new skill and embracing the awkwardness. As always, I want to leave you with a core workout. And that is, if the next time you're feeling awkward when you're learning a new skill, just pause for a moment and think, is it reasonable to expect me to be able to do this beautifully in the first moment? No. So think, how can I break this down? How can I lower my expectations? And how can I just see this learning journey as a journey? And then act and take one small step forward to learn. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Darcy Loma. I love learning and growing together and becoming thoughtfully fit, training and practicing. So as always, make a comment. Let me know what new skill you are learning and what tips you have and how these are helping you. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Take care. Happy Thoughtfully Fit Thursday.